A reporter at MSNBC, or I think NBC, I don't remember which one, went out and they spoke to some older folk. And they were asking them, why are they voting for, who are they voting for? And the interesting thing is, one lady there, one of the older ladies says that the turn off for her is anybody who talks about this virus being a hoax or whatever is a turn off. So that would mean that it's immediately not a Trump voter. But there was another woman who voted for Obama. Then after she voted for Obama, she voted for Trump. It's an older woman. And what the reporter asked her is, can you tell me what Trump has promised you that has done for you that makes you want to vote for him again? I want you to listen to her because I want to make the counter narrative. But not only that, I want to tell you why it is important to talk to people like her. This is important, and it's probably not going to be immediately intuitive, but we'll talk about it. Check this out.
What are you planning to do with your vote in November? Do you know yet?
Of course. Trump. He's the only president I could ever relate to.
Is there anything you can sort of point to that he has said he'd do and that he's done that you're really happy with?
Not that I could think of. I'm just glad he's there. Like I said, I feel secure.
Okay, now I want you to think about how Trump works, right? She thinks she wants to vote for Trump because her conditioning is Republican, Republican, Republican. You can see that in her conditioning. Here's the reality. That's the same kind of conditioning that a lot of people like her had during the Obama days. But I stayed here in Kingwood, a very red area, and watched the conversion of Republicans like that. Simply said, but I can't take it anymore. I am giving it to Obama. And I could actually, their kids who brought home Obama's book and brought home all of that were in their skin. Man, this guy is pretty cool. This guy is going to do X, Y, and Z. And by the way, I'm a college student, Ma. This guy is going to help what we are all about. And by the way, he did help the college kids by using the Affordable Care Act to stick the college fund stuff in to get some of the bankers out for federal loans, which opened up a ton more money for them and reduced the interest rates for a whole lot of people. So he did fulfill that promise. But the deal is, you know, a lot of these Republicans are gettable, right? But here's the thing, and why is this particular one so gettable? The person just sat down nicely, and she's a nice woman. She wasn't violent. She just said, I can only vote for Trump because Trump gives her that feeling. Trump's give her that feeling as this older woman, I am going to protect you. I am going to protect you. And he's constantly putting that message out there. People laugh, including myself, but I laugh not because I don't think it'll work. I laugh because, it's like, oh my God, he's doing something that worked against Dukakis by using that black guy that all white Americans feared. Dukakis let black people out of jails that are criminals, and they're going to come and get you. And it turned out that Dukakis went from a big lead to a big dump, to a loss, a big loss, okay? It works because fear works, right? So you have to have that counter narrative. So when I say you have to talk to all these people, right now the only people talking to them is Fox News and Trump. Fox News and Trump's talking to them. So what are they hearing? They're hearing like, oh my God, the city is exploding. And by the way, since if it bleeds, it leads on all TV, whether it's MSNBC or whether it is your local station, whatever the case, if it bleeds, it leads. And the picture they show you is they show you most of the times, in as much as right now they're showing a lot of white kids that are a part of the Black Lives Movement, that are in the movement trying to do well. If there's somebody to show you that's doing something offensive, that is doing something wrong, if they can show you a face of a POC, that is what they're going to do, which is what they generally do. Producers do that. That is why we say in the we need to have in producing, it needs to look like America as well, because people would make decisions. A lot of these producers, even here in Houston, you look at the crime in Houston looks like me. You go to the court system and you realize, oh, the crime is a little bit more spread out, huh? And that is because what makes it on TV and what does not. Here is the deal. So that's all she sees. All she sees is criminality, and he mixes a little bit of that. I like that frontal lobe versus amygdala. Exactly. The amygdala is that fast reflex. Now, here's the deal. When she watches TV, she gets scared. Why does she get scared? Because what TV is showing is a mob destroying Portland, destroying Seattle, destroying all these other places. I brought you guys shows where I have shown that the protest in Portland is one block on a park. They stage in the park, and every night they go out in that block and they protest. And that war between the police and the stuff is kind of exacerbated when you really challenge them in that sort of. We show that it's one block. Portland is a huge city. One block, you have issues. Same thing. You can go to a lot of Houston. We had a whole street, that kind of stuff. But nobody is going to see these protests in these neighborhoods, right? Because you go to the protest through the sources of power. That is what protest is all about. Now, Trump is not going to tell his people that. He's going to just show you fire burning and all these things being thrown. That's what you're going to see. And then they expect people to say, oh my God, that's going to happen to me. Well, you need a lot of shows like ours that we can put. We need to have videos made as well that says, this is happening on 1 square block on Portland. Look how beautiful Portland is. This is happening in 5 square blocks in Seattle. Look how beautiful Seattle is. Wouldn't it be more beautiful if everybody felt the beauty that is this city? And that's what these people are fighting for. You have to have the counter narrative. You have to have the counter narrative without giving up your values. And that is what we're doing. If I had more time, if I had more help, I would start also creating those videos. But it's hard. It's hard for me to get public domain videos hooked up with a whole lot of narrative to go out there and make that true narrative that makes more sense than what even MSNBCs and all these other people are portraying. I think it is irresponsible of these people to go ahead and promote just the riots and making it seem, when they talk about riots in Portland, people have the feeling that the whole Portland is burning. Riots in Chicago, the whole of Chicago is burning. It is so false. It is so disingenuous. And it then gives Trump the platform he needs to make his case. And then you have this silly video going around where you have one set of Black Lives Matter, a white group of Black Lives Matter students out there in a restaurant almost forcing a white diner to lift their hands up saying they support the Black Lives Matter movement. That's wrong. You can't do things like that. Put it on video, and it is like red meat for Donald Trump, because it is like, you see, these guys are coming for you next, which actually it looks like, right? Because you can legislate certain things. You legislate laws that have to be followed. You don't change hearts with legislation. You enforce good law with legislation, and you work. Changing hearts sometimes after comes when people are forced to behave a certain way to protect others. In other words, I'm sorry, it is sad. I can't force you to love me. I can't force you to like me. I can't force any of that. However, in the long run, you may, when you get past seeing what I look like to you, because other people have negative feelings as far as how you or anybody else looks. But when you get past that, you may start saying, man, those attributes of yours, that is something that I like. Wow. And that is where we have to get as a society. I explain a whole lot of that in my book as well, as it's worth it. Check it out. I'm going to put the link in there one more time. Yes, I am promoting my book because I want people to read it and execute what's in that book, because that is how we are going to win. That is how we're going to win. I'm Egberto Willies, host of Politics Done Right, an independent news program. I post several news videos of interest every day. I ask you so kindly to subscribe to my channel, and please leave me some comments. Thank you very much.